What's going on, boys? Welcome back inside the one. We are here once again. Another week of football. Finally, week one has been completed,
Finally.
and we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to talk about week one, all the ins, the outs. Try to touch on every single game. We have our list pulled up right here. We watched most of them. Decent percentage for our busy ass. Actually got most of the games in. Full disclosure, I'm eating some delicious Alfredo salmon, so please don't mind that. I will try to mute the mic while I'm doing that, but my ass is hungry, so it's just gonna have to happen. And
It's happening. It's happening.
Jeff, how you feeling today, man?
I'm good, guys. I mean, actually, not so good. It could be better after Monday night, but we'll talk about that in full detail.
Yes, we will. I feel fantastic. But yeah, man, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe if you're new here. We're gonna get back into the swing of weekly uploads now that the season has started. We got kind of bored, if we're gonna be honest with you guys, in the off season, so we slacked off just a little bit. But we'll be back on it for the regular season every single week to go over these games, man, because football is back and football is awesome. And this was a
Finally.
really great week of games, fantastic game. I know
Oh,
Jeff's heartbroken, but the games,
it was a good game though, regardless.
yeah, the games were amazing. And starting off the season with an amazing game was the Cowboys and the Buccaneers, man. Let's go. Shout out to the Cowboys, first of all, for making this a close game. I think a lot of people didn't think that was going to happen. I've actually been somebody that's kind of been hyping up the Cowboys a little bit because Dak Prescott's coming back. I did predict a 10-7 record, though, because, it's Mike McCarthy's the head coach. But listen, Dak Prescott was in MVP form when he got injured. And he rehabbed the injury and came right back into MVP form again, dude. 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean,
Yeah.
what else could you really ask for against that Buccaneers defense that didn't look very good? And I'm not sure if that was because of the talent on the Cowboys or if they just are going to get off to a slow start again like they did last year. I don't know. But it was a fantastic game.
I think the
The
thing
running
was,
game for the Cowboys was Buns.
yeah.
But another 2 guys I want to point out that are about to just the combination of Dak Prescott plus these 2 guys is going to be a problem, and that is Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. Dudes had 16 and 15 catches respectively, both over 100 yards. That's outrageous. No team really that I can think of. I mean, there's probably a couple, maybe the Dolphins, and the Ravens, but very few teams have 2 corners that are capable of covering both of those guys. It's going to be an issue.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, like, both of these teams were forced to pass the entire time. Like, the run game was stopped on both sides almost all night. Like, the fact that you see Tom Brady throwing for 50, his old ass is throwing for 50, throws a single game, and then you have Dak who's throwing for 58. So it's like, it was just crazy. Like, the defensive lines, like, I know DeMarcus Lawrence, like, he's actually out for the season now. Something about a broken ankle. So that's just going to take a hit for next week. But no, I mean, this week right here, it was great. I mean, they only allowed 32 yards to Leonard Fournette and
Yeah.
14 for Rojo. And then same thing on Tampa Bay. Like, they held Zeke to 33 yards and Tony Pollard to 14. So it's just like, it seemed like they were attacking each other's secondary, and it worked out because, I mean, both of these teams almost threw for 400 yards.
I think something that we both noticed as well was the Cowboys' defense being a little better than we thought. Obviously, Brady had 380 passing yards, but it still seemed like the Buccaneers were in position to probably drop 50 in this game, and the Cowboys kept getting stops when they needed them really badly, except for the last drive. But it's Tom Brady, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Another guy I want to shout out here, and this is a terrifying thought for the entire NFL. Antonio Brown had 121 yards and 7 receptions. Now, that could have been a fluke, week one thing. But if they have Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown, or anything near that,
Yeah.
what are you supposed to do here against these people? Because Mike Evans had 6 catches for 3 yards.
And not only him, but Rob Gronkowski's over here catching for 90 yards. So it's just like we not only reversed time, like we went back in time, got Pittsburgh Antonio, got prime Gronkowski from like the Patriots. Combine that with Godwin and Evans, who barely saw any action. I mean, what? Evans only got targeted 6. I mean, targeted 6 times, only
6
caught
times.
3.
Yeah, he caught 3. I
But
misread it. It was 3 catches for 24
still,
yards.
I mean, you got those guys that, Godwin did catch a lot. He caught 9, 14 attempts. But I mean, still, if you have 4 guys and you got OJ Howard still over there, I mean, this is a lot of weapons for Tom Brady. I think this is the most weapons he's ever had. And it's a scary thought that he has all of this in it. If Antonio Brown keeps performing like this and Gronkowski does the same thing, it wasn't just a Super Bowl. This is real. This is something that we have to watch out for every single week.
Yeah. And I expect their defense to figure it out.
Like, can you imagine being a defense trying to guard what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys at all times?
No.
In the pass game?
Like you already had like last year 3-ish guys to guard.
Right.
And some teams were able to do it. We saw in the regular season the Saints were able to shut that down. But when you add Antonio Brown and Gronk both being super effective, that's an issue.
Yeah.
But moving on here, we have there was a few stunning outcomes this weekend, and one of those, not that the Cardinals won the game, but 38-13 is really surprising to me, to be honest with you.
Stunning
and on
to
top
me.
of that, Derrick Henry having like 50 yards rushing on 17 attempts. But dude, the Cardinals look like a legit threat in the NFC West. I think we were all kind of sitting here waiting to see how all this, because they added a lot of guys that were, older.
Yeah.
And we're kind of waiting to see, like, does J.J. Watt still have anything in the tank? Yes. He made some crazy stops on the goal line against Derrick Henry. Chandler Jones is a freak of nature.
Yeah.
5 sacks in 1 week. He's put himself on record watch now for the most sacks in one season.
And I just want to put it out there that it was not just some random tackle. It was Taylor Lewan, who was supposed to be one of the better tackles in the league.
He made Taylor Lewan so embarrassed that Taylor Lewan had to come out in the press conference and be like, "I'm embarrassed." Yeah.
I was exposed on ass. He definitely, he was like, yeah, he's not bad.
Kyler Murray is in the MVP watch right now. Of course, guys. First of all, I want to point something out right now. It's week 1. You can't overreact to week 1. We're just speaking the facts that Kyler Murray after week 1 is on the MVP watch. Not saying he's going to win MVP. It's week 1. Relax.
Well, I guess the main question on everybody's mind about this game is the Cardinals defense that good, or the Titans are just that bad? And I know
the Titans are a good team. They can't possibly be that bad.
Like, you can't have Henry, AJ Brown, and Julio on the same team and be bad. I don't think it's even possible. It's just they were ready to play. Arizona. Like, when you have Budda Baker, Isaiah Simmons, JJ, even though we thought, hey, he might be washed, but no, I mean, he's over here flying from the other side of the defensive line to make a tackle on the goal line. And then you have Chandler Jones just doing 5 sacks. I mean, this defense just it's ready to play for sure.
One thing that's interesting is this this weird dynamic between Julio Jones and the coach. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the Titans head coach, Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel, yeah.
There's like this weird thing because of that penalty that Julio got, and Mike Vrabel like called him out on it in the post game.
Yeah.
And now there's this weird. I'm just like, don't start with the drama already, bro. Like, Julio Jones got a damn penalty. The coach called him out for it. Like, the media sometimes overreacts to stuff.
They're going to eat that up.
And it's just like, shut up. It's Julio
like,
Jones.
Is Julio and Mike Vrabel getting into it? Is this going to cause stress on the team? Like, it's just, that's lots of unwanted attention.
It's week 1.
Yeah.
It's week 1, bro. The Cardinals had the chip on their shoulder, and they beat that ass. I mean, there's nothing else to say. Rondale Moore, by the way, great draft pick by the Cardinals.
Yeah,
that guy looks amazing. AJ Green didn't have to do much, but he's still there. Like, the weapons that they have, the fact that Rondale Moore is nice off the rip, like it's not gonna. I don't see too much development time needed. He seems to be good enough right now. You got Hopkins, Kirk, Rondale Moore, and AJ Green. Are you dumb?
Can we talk about Hopkins for like 2 seconds?
Go, yeah.
That one touchdown that he had in the back of the end zone, it might have been the first touchdown that they had. So I think Kyler was just a magician. Came out, he ran out of the pocket, and then he decided to throw a crossbody to Hopkins in the back of the end zone. It just so happened that he's, there's maybe at least 1 or 2 people in front of him. Doesn't matter. He still catches the ball and keeps his feet inbounds. Amazing.
He's the best.
It's crazy.
I'll tell you right now, we saw the other, and we'll get to this later, but the other wide receiver that is between him and Hopkins of who's the best in the NFL. After week 1, it's DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, the other guy took a shit against a cornerback with a broken hand.
We'll
Anyways,
talk about that.
yeah, we'll talk about that
Oh
later.
yeah.
But Chargers, man, I mean, AJ Brown had a really nice touchdown catch, but I don't know, man. I don't like Chester Rogers being your leading receiver. I feel like that's an issue. I feel like that, like when you have Julio and AJ Brown and your tight end Ferkser and these guys, it's just weird for me to see Chester Rogers as your leading
I
receiver.
feel like this
but
is just a product of them pulling stuff out of the bag. They felt like they had no other options. Like, okay, Henry's getting stopped. He got 17 attempts
yeah,
for 58 yards. Okay, I can't do that anymore. Julio's
to
getting
be
doubled. Okay, AJ. So who's left?
and to be fair, 40 of his yards came on one catch, so it wasn't like he was just getting targeted all the time. But I'll tell you what, man, Isaiah Simmons looks incredible. Like that,
Yeah.
we already know about the other guys they have, Buda Baker and all these guys, but like Isaiah Simmons looked outstanding
I definitely don't
yesterday. And
think
we'll
this
just
is the end of the Titans. Like, I think they're gonna
no,
come back from this. This is not, again, we like to overreact. I don't think the Titans suck by any means. It's just, you played a defense that was ready to go. They have all these new weapons. They're excited. I definitely don't think they're gonna be a bottom team or even a bad team. They're still gonna be in the playoff conversation for sure. I just want to put that out there for you guys.
I don't know who the Titans play in week 2, but they better be terrified of Derrick Henry because he is not gonna accept
Yeah,
this.
he's not happy.
He's not gonna accept this slander. Hell no. But yeah, that was a surprising game. Here's another one. Okay, now both of these teams are expected to be pretty buns.
Well,
But
one more than the other.
in week 1, the Houston Texans were not buns.
No, dude.
I watched this game from start to finish, and I was so thoroughly impressed with the Houston Texans that I don't even know what to say.
There was the opening drive that did not look so good, but I mean, like, it's week 1, your opening drive. That's the first time you're touching the field in front of a bunch of fans. I get that. But after that, Tyrod Taylor he looks great. He looks great.
Yeah, man. I thought hiring David Culley as the head coach was kind of weird because he was part of like one of those 0-16 teams, and I was just like, this guy over like Eric Bieniemy or whatever. But if their offense is going to play like this, then shit, good hire, man. I mean, Tyrod Taylor out there running around like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've all listen. First of all, everybody knows that Tyrod Taylor is more than capable of being your starting quarterback. He's bounced around to so many teams for no reason.
It's
I
just
don't know what it
unfortunate
is.
what happened with
Yeah.
or not San Diego, LA,
The Chargers,
with the injury to his lung or something like that. Like, he got screwed
And
out of that starting job, and then now he's actually
previously,
getting a good starting.
his other starting job was with the Browns, and we know how that goes.
Right.
So like
He was a backup for us for a while on the
he
Ravens.
looked,
So
yeah, he looked. I mean, outstanding. There's no other word besides outstanding
more
for
than
what
you
would
would
expect.
from it. Exactly.
Yeah, the whole team was like that though. Mark
Mark Ingram has
I thought he was
juice,
done,
bro. I thought he was washed.
I thought he was
no.
absolutely done.
I think he has a
He
chip on
carried
his
the ball
shoulder.
26 times.
He's like, oh, you're going to, the Ravens are going to drop me for a rookie, for JK? Okay,
I'm
watch
saying.
this.
And then you come down here, and this is a guy that I thought didn't even want to play for Houston anymore. Brandon Cooks goes crazy. Moss and everybody.
That's wild, yeah.
132 yards. The tight end.
Farrell Brown. Dude, he had a one-handed catch. It was insane.
I know.
Danny Amendola is prime again. Like,
Amendola, like, yeah, I was just really, really impressed. Their defense was decent. Nothing to complain about with their defense. We'll see. Again, they're playing against Jacksonville, who looks downright terrible. So we have to see what Houston does against a better team, because Jacksonville looks like they might be heading for the number 1 pick again. I mean, Urban Meyer is about to be a one and done. Okay. Trevor Lawrence looked. So here's the thing about Trevor Lawrence in this game. Half the time he looked amazing. Half the throws he looked terrible. There was like no middle ground whatsoever.
No.
One of his interceptions was just horrendous. They showed he was running a crossing route. I can't remember who the receiver was.
Yep.
Crossing route coming across, and Trevor Lawrence just threw it right to the linebacker. And there was no. What was he doing?
Wasn't even the same zip code. Like, the crossing route was already in the middle of the field, and he's throwing outside the numbers on the left. So it's just like.
But then he has this 41-yard laser beam to DJ Chark for a touchdown. And you're just like, okay, so which is it? But he's a rookie. It's his first game. Like,
I just want to point it out that it's not all his fault that they did so bad. DJ Chark, he had 12 targets for only 3 catches.
Yeah, he dropped a lot.
He was a drop machine.
He dropped like 4 or 5.
The only reliable receiver, honestly, this might be their best receiver, in fact, is Laviska Shenault.
Oh,
I
yes,
mean, this
I
man was all
absolutely
over the
agree.
field. I mean, he caught almost every pass that was thrown at him. But I mean, everybody else not as reliable as Laviska. I mean, if just
They
get that
couldn't
man involved more.
they couldn't run the ball at all. Carlos Hyde did okay, but James Robinson was completely
Yeah,
shut down. Um,
it was
I don't know,
rough.
man. That Jacksonville looks just their defense was getting torn to shreds. They made all these additions in the offseason that just didn't seem to
It was
help
just a
very much
line. Like
in
I
week
could
one.
not help to see a continuation of what happened in the preseason. Like their line just
Yeah.
breaks down, and like not to shit on Houston, but like they don't have top. I think what maybe Merciless. Like that's probably like one of your better pass rushers, and like he's consistently getting back there. So that's Jawan Taylor doesn't seem as good as we thought, and I mean I don't know, man. This is not good. Like if you can't get the run game going, you can't get the play action going. Therefore, you're gonna just not be able to have time in the pocket. They're gonna know that you can't run. That's a fake play action. They're gonna come right at you.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yes,
I don't know what they're gonna
76
do.
rushing yards. Now, in fairness as well to the running game, I mean they were down 27-7, so they didn't run the ball in the second half almost at all. So the numbers are a little bit skewed, but look, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, if we want to make a comparison, this is some 2019 Jameis numbers right here. 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Like he might very well throw for 4,500 yards this year, but he's going to have a lot of picks because they're going to be passing a lot because they are just going to be behind a lot. And
Now,
I
um,
don't know who there's I can't think of his name right now, but the pass rusher from Oregon that's considered to potentially go number one in the draft. Yes, please, because they need some help on that
oh, you're
on
talking
that
about
line.
Noah so well.
Josh Allen is fine,
Mm.
but the rest of that defensive line, oh my goodness, horrible. Josh Allen was flying all over the place. He really was. But the rest of those guys, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Again, week one, but
I mean, if you
to
can't
me,
perform against the
after week
Texans, I mean,
yes.
when if not now,
To
then
me,
when?
after week one, Jacksonville looks like the worst team in the NFL. So we'll see how that goes. But after week one, overreaction, probably. But right now, terrible. Um, Now we get to another pretty good game, actually. The Chargers versus Washington. Big storyline here is Fitzpatrick is going to be out for some weeks here.
Yeah.
I
Is he out for the
think
the
it's said
season
like
or
5 weeks.
just for a
It's not the season. He's just out like I can't remember how many weeks. It's like 5 or 6 weeks, something
yeah?
like that.
He
And they're
threw out
not
his hip,
bringing in anybody else. They're going to rock
which is
with
weird.
Heineke.
Yeah.
It is weird, but I mean, listen, he went 11 for 50. Listen, so Fitzpatrick, when he was playing, he was 3 for 6 for 13 yards. Heineke came in 11 for 15 for 122. I mean,
I mean, as long as Gibson keeps running the ball the way he was, I mean, he ran for 90
yeah.
yards. It seems like they handed off quite a bit, 20 attempts. I mean, maybe you don't need to throw as much. I mean, just ground and
But
pound, play good
I
defense.
just from what I saw, like when I was watching Fitz out there, I was just like, oh, yikes. Like it just looked like Fitz magic is not a thing anymore. He only threw it 6 times. Like he was not in the game for very long, but it didn't look good when he was passing. Then Heineke came in. Listen, 11 for 15 is fine. I mean, they almost won the game. The Chargers are a really good team, and they played great defense. The Chargers too, but they're a really good team, and Washington had a chance to win up until the end. There, Justin Herbert is just going to be a stat machine once again this year.
Yes, sir.
He didn't even look that great this game. He still
I
threw for
know.
330.
A down game for him is 337
I
yards.
know. Rushing game was fine. They spread it around a little bit. It's hard to run on Washington, so anytime you get near 100 yards rushing, that's probably what you're expecting. The best case scenario, because Washington's D line is hands down just like one of the most disgusting you'll ever see in the NFL. Um, their new addition, William Jackson, had a really nice interception. But for the Chargers, man, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, bro, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jared Cook in there too, but those two guys went just nuts.
I mean, I guess my thing is like, how do you have 424 total yards and only score 20 points? Like, what was Washington doing, stopping them right in the end zone? Like, I didn't
Turnovers.
see the entire game, but it seems like if you have that many yards, you should be able to get
Yeah.
into the end zone way more often than just maybe twice.
Yeah, there was a well for sure the William Jackson pick was in the red zone. I can't remember if they turned it. I think was there a fumble? I don't know, but they were getting stopped in the red zone. But Washington's defense is goddamn good, dude. It's one of those bend but don't break situations where
Yeah.
like, you get them all the way down there, but you're not going to score. Um,
I mean, that's
so yeah,
impressive.
really,
That's a statement of Washington's defense,
it is. Washington's defense is really really good, and outside of I mean, the NFC East is so weird, and we'll get into more of the games, but like outside of Dallas, I don't know who is good and who's not in the NFC East. I have no clue whatsoever. I'm so confused right now. After week one, I have no idea what's going on. This
I
is
mean,
not
I can
at
probably
all what I
go ahead and
expected.
say Washington probably has the best defense in that whole division.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I mean, the offense, I mean, it's almost so lopsided. It's like you have the best defense probably, but your offense is just it suffers.
I'm a big proponent of them getting Cam Newton, but they're just not going to. So we'll see what happens with Heineke. Maybe he can
Yeah.
finally earn a starting job. You know what I'm saying, for a whole season. He's been in the NFL in and out for a while. Maybe this is his chance to play. And like you said earlier, you don't have to be great to win with this defense. Just don't turn the ball over, which he
Yeah.
didn't. He did not throw a pick. So, pretty good, entertaining game there. We'll head to one of the, not the most, but like up there for
One
one
of
of
the
the most
overtime
entertaining
games.
games.
Yeah.
This game was great, man. I first of all, Cincinnati, man, like those fans are ready for their team to be good. I could not hear the announcers for the majority of the first quarter of that game.
Yeah.
When the Bengals were playing well and the crowd was hype, I couldn't hear what they were saying. I had no clue what was going on. The sideline reporters, nothing. I've never heard Cincinnati that loud in my entire life, ever watching football, ever. There's a mojo going on in Cincinnati where they really do believe that they're turning a new leaf and being good. And I'm excited for that city, man, because they've been through some BS the last, when they had Marvin Lewis as their head coach and he couldn't win a playoff game, like no matter how good their team was. So good for them. But you
Yeah.
almost blew a huge lead, so you got to work on that. I know the Vikings are decent, but you got to work on that. Joe Burrow looks fine coming back from that injury.
Yeah,
We'll
this
take
is 20 out of 27.
261.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll
It's
take
good.
that against the
No
Vikings.
picks.
They're not a terrible defense. Yep. And then Joe Mixon, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about what 30 carries. People complained last year that the Bengals didn't give the ball to Mixon enough when he was playing, and like other running backs after that, and that's why Burrow got injured because he was dropping back too much. Well, here you go, 29 carries for 127. Zach Taylor figured that out. Jamar Chase, stop it with the drop in the passes. We never want to hear it again. Dude. I mean, that streak that he ran for a touchdown.
Yeah.
That corner had no shot.
There was
He
like
got
20
burnt.
yards of it. Yeah.
He was running full speed too. Like it wasn't like he didn't see the route, bro. He just got sauced. T. Higgins is looking really good as like your possession receiver. Tyler Boyd didn't even have to do anything this game. Like that's how
For
good they
real.
played.
Yeah.
There was one play though. You guys got away with this win by the skin of your teeth because Joe Burrow threw that bitch right at the defense. I can't remember who it was on defense, but it bounced off their hands right into Tyler Boyd's hands for a first down. So I'm just saying, if that doesn't happen, y'all probably lost this game. But hey, it just takes luck sometimes to win these games.
That's probably not the only time they almost lost. I mean, in overtime, the fumble
In overtime.
or the not fumble.
I don't know
with
about that
Dalvin
call
Cook.
too. We got to talk about that a little bit. I thought he was down.
I thought he was down too. Like
I
you
thought he was
literally
down.
like I know the Cincinnati fans they don't want to hear it, because you guys want to keep the win and you don't want to have any type of like I get it, but I mean, guys, his literally they zoomed in and his ass is down. I don't see how that was a fumble, but hey, I mean, a win's a win. I
Yeah,
mean,
that call was shocking. That was shocking to me. But listen, huge, huge, huge deal for the Bengals. Last season, their run D was awful. If I'm not mistaken, they were like dead ass last. You come in against a team that has Dalvin Cook and you hold them to 68 yards
and that was
total
he
on
ran
22
20
carries.
times. Yeah.
Yes, that's that's something. That's something to keep your eye on as the season progresses. Like if the Bengals can stop the run, I do like their secondary enough. You know, I think Mike Hilton got cooked on a touchdown, but he's a slot corner and he was put in a weird position that slot corners aren't normally put in. So that's a little bit whatever. But Jesse Bates was all over the place. If you haven't, like a lot of people don't really watch the Bengals, they don't know who Jesse Bates is. He finally got some recognition last year, and this was my first time watching a full Bengals game this year, and that dude is all over the place. He's incredible. He's in every single play.
I mean, the fact that Kirk Cousins threw 49 times, and then Dalvin Cook also attempted 20 runs. I mean, the fact that you guys only held them to 24 points, that's impressive. I mean, just
and they actually outgained you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like like how many? Let's see, 1, 2. So we still have a little bit of a problem here because I see 5. I count 5 sacks. So still a little bit of a concern with the pass protection. Clearly, the run blocking is fine.
Right.
The pass protection, slight concern still. But I'll tell you right now, if Jamar Chase is going to do that every week, then I don't blame that draft pick at all. That was a great selection. You just got to get the guys that you have right now on the offensive line to pass block better. That's all.
I would say between that and the secondary, I mean, so you gave Adam Thielen 10 catches, Osborne 9 catches, Justin Jefferson 9 catches, and Dalvin Cook 7. So, I mean, like, these guys all almost had 75 yards minimum each. So it's just like, I get it's a bend, do not break defense. That's what it seems like. The fact that they all had like 10 catches and only had 24 points on the board. I'm just saying like that. I
mean, Kirk Cousins, at the end of the day, the Vikings offense is really good, right? So like, you can't hang your head too much. Kirk Cousins been doing this forever. They got hella receivers, Dalvin Cook. Like, the Bengals look good. You guys have a pretty easy game next week.
Yeah, for real.
For being honest. Easy. So you guys could be off to a really good start if you don't blow the game next week. So good for you guys. Over 500 for the first time in like 20 years, it feels like. So good job. Who's next here? Ooh, this
Carolina.
game. Oh, I'm excited about to talk about this one, bro, because so the first half was a little bit rough for Zach Wilson, but bro, in the second half, I was like, yo, wait a minute. This dude, bro, if I compare Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, after week 1, Zach Wilson is ahead. Zach Wilson is ahead in the rookie quarterback race for me right now. Ahead of Mac Jones, all of them, everybody.
I think he has a better line too, to be honest. Besides Mekhi Becton because he got injured.
The Jets line's kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Better than Jacksonville though.
Marginally better, but the thing is, Zach Wilson was doing better at getting. He was escaping the pocket. Trevor kind of just sat there and took it. Like Zach Wilson had this on the run, just laser beam to, I believe it was Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Who Corey Davis, by the way, I know one of us picked him as a breakout. I think Corey Davis is going to go crazy for the Jets. We've been saying this for a while. But listen, man, you played really, really well. It's just the Jets, at the end of the day, they're just not as good as the Panthers are. I mean, it's as simple as that. Sam Darnold, I mean, listen, looks fine. Yeah. I can't, there's no complaints about Sam Darnold for me. Christian McCaffrey is just a freak of nature, though. That's the one thing I take away from this game. I think the first possession for the Panthers, I'm pretty sure McCaffrey got the first like 6 touches. He took like 4 runs and 2 catches. I'm like, bro, you guys forgot about the rest of the team?
This man has 21 attempts for 98 yards plus 9 catches for 89 yards. He didn't drop a single pass.
Didn't drop a single target. DJ Moore,
DJ Moore and Anderson, like TMJ, like you guys have other people besides CMC, but hey, I mean, I guess I get it. Like Mr. Reliable, I guess.
Yeah. But and I'm going to be honest with you, man, in the first half of that game, I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, here we go. Here goes the Jets ruining another quarterback. Because I was just like, Zach Wilson, in the first half, I was like, this looks no different than when Sam Darnold first got to the Jets. He's running for his life. He can't find an open receiver. I was like, here we go. But in the second half, I saw some potential, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. You know, he looked like a stud. He looks so tiny. I swear to God, he's not a small guy, is he?
Yeah, I think he's like 6 foot.
He looked like a small guy, but whatever. But the Jets, 45 rushing yards. That's not going to cut it, bro. I know
Yeah.
you guys don't have the best running backs in the world. Tevin Coleman as your number one is not ideal whatsoever. But that's got to be better because you're putting a lot of pressure on the rookie quarterback if you can't run the ball. Kind of
Right.
like Jacksonville did. But yeah, I don't really have all that much to say. I will point out that 19 points, I mean, the Jets defense may be a little bit better than we anticipated, potentially. Because all those points really came in the second quarter. They didn't give up any. They got 16 in the second quarter.
Yeah, I
And the
mean,
rest of the game, they only scored 3
Panthers
points.
had 381 total yards, only gave up 19.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So maybe I thought the Jets defense was sus, but maybe not. I mean, again, it's week one, so we can't really know for sure. But promising for the Jets, might still have a pretty bad record though. Very promising, in my opinion, for the Panthers that Sam Darnold appears
yeah.
to not be terrible, because that's kind of what we're all
I think
wondering.
that's the
Like, is
story.
Sam
Like,
Darnold?
Sam Darnold can be the guy. I mean,
He can be
you
good
got
enough.
him, you
Yeah.
got CMC, and then you got great receivers all the way around. I mean, you got Moore, Anderson, TMJ, and then obviously Christian McCaffrey. He's just going to be there catching whatever. So it's just like this offense is good, but I think it's just the defense of the Jets also did good. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, it was a good game regardless. It was a really good game. It was hard to say like what should have happened here. Like, should the offense should have overperformed because it's the Jets,
Yeah,
or hey, the Jets should have did some more. But who knows? It was a good game regardless.
that was a good game. Let's talk about a terrible game.
Oh boy.
Um,
I did not see this
well,
coming, by the way. I'm just going to say that right
I
now.
actually did. I didn't either. So we're kind of just going off the box score here. So no hate us too much, Falcons fans. But goddamn, dude,
This is the
you
Eagles
can't
we're
be
talking
losing
about, right?
32-6. You can't lose 32-6 to the Eagles, bro. You just can't do that. And that's no offense to the Eagles. They might be better than we thought, but not 32-6 better. Like this is like
Y'all made
this
Jalen
is really.
Hurts look like a top five quarterback in the league. Like
I'm
27 for
saying,
35 for
and
three
and
touchdowns.
I've been hating on Jalen Hurts, and I feel bad. Like I had to take a step back for a second. Maybe Jalen Hurts is the real deal. I don't
And
know.
he
We'll see what.
ran for 62 yards also.
Yeah, we'll see what happens against a better team. But I might have been totally wrong about Jalen Hurts, so I apologize to all the Eagles fans. But I'm just looking at this box score, and I mean the yards is depressing me. How does Matt Ryan have 21 completions for only 164 yards? You can't throw the ball more than 5 yards now. Are you that washed?
And
No
there's no
touchdowns.
excuses. I mean, you guys have receivers. I mean, you got Ridley, Pitts, Hurst. I mean,
Yeah,
Corey
like
Patterson. Like, he used to be a wide receiver. Yeah,
Russell
Cordero
Gage.
Patterson, whatever. But yeah,
I don't know, man. I wish I would have watched it because I would like to see. Was it the play calling? Were they just calling conservative plays? Like what was going on?
that's what it seems like. I mean, there's no way you only do 136 passing yards and you have these guys on your field. It doesn't make sense. They've always been super pass heavy. I like does losing Julio really hurt you that bad? Is that
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out what's happening. I mean, Kyle Pitts, he's supposed to be like your best tight end in maybe history, and you only gave him the ball. I mean, it looks like he dropped half his passes. I don't know if it was just bad targets or, but whatever, 31 yards. I mean, all I can say about this game is the Eagles. Like, maybe
yeah,
they're better than we thought. I mean, Devonta Smith, he got 71 yards off of 6 catches. Miles Sanders seems to be running for 74 yards. I mean, Jalen Hurts seems to be one of the top five quarterbacks in the league. It's just you don't expect them to be this good because of the receivers. I mean, what you got Jalen Rager, Goddard. I don't know.
yeah.
Wes Watkins, I know he's fast as shit. I don't know. I just maybe we underestimated them, or the Falcons are just ass.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
mean
what to
that's
take
fine
from
with
this
me.
game.
Did you see that Devontae Smith caught his first touchdown pass like literally on the exact same spot of the field that he caught the game-winning national championship pass in college?
I didn't see that. No,
I saw that on Twitter today. I think Adam Schefter put it out. I was like, what are the actual odds of that?
kind of weird.
Yeah, but Falcons, y'all suck. Next.
Damn. Buffalo,
Here's a
Pittsburgh.
shocker. Here's a shocker for most people. Not that
Yeah, for
I'm not gonna
me.
sit here and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I think Pittsburgh's trash, but like it just shocks me that they beat the Bills. I thought the Bills are like one of the top teams in the entire NFL, and they just have so many more yards. Like just looking at this box score, I just can't comprehend how the Bills have lost. Like the math doesn't add up. I know they had that blocked punt for
Yeah.
which I believe ended up in a touchdown, but
So the
I didn't watch
story
this
for
game
this
either,
game
guys.
was the pass rush in Pittsburgh. Just the
Hmm.
defensive line. TJ Watt is again another freak of nature this year. I mean, he was all over Josh Allen. It was disgusting. The fact that, I mean, it seems I just don't understand, like, how do you have this many yards and only score 16? Just I mean, it just look, as a Ravens fan, like, obviously, Steelers, haha, rivals, but no, for real, like, I really thought that defense in the secondary, especially, was going to take a huge step back. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say I'm sorry right now because the fact that you guys only held them to 16 and they're very pass heavy. Josh Allen threw it 51 times and only has 270 yards. I mean, this is crazy. It just shows you that their pass rush is good and their secondary can hold up against something like Buffalo, who can throw the ball all over the place. TJ Watt is disgusting. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. I
I'm
didn't expect
noticing
this at
here.
all.
I didn't watch this game, but I'm noticing here. Singletary had 11 rushes for 72 yards. I'm trying to find out why they didn't run the ball more. That's a really good yards per carry. So I'm seeing Josh Allen with 51 passes, and then I'm looking at Singletary's yards per carry, and that's confusing to me.
So this
Like, why
was
didn't
a
they?
product of we were passing early and we figured out the run game was working late game, so it was kind of like
Oh,
let's milk it while we still have clock time on the clock. They didn't figure out
okay.
the run game was working until later on, but they came out passing heavy because they knew the secondary of the Pittsburgh Steelers was, taking a hit.
Got you.
So, but no, they started stepping up. Pass rush was getting there, so like, okay, let's run. And then by the time they
Yeah.
figured that out, it's we're in the third or fourth quarter.
Bills, bro, y'all better start running the ball because the Steelers have a good defensive line. You getting that kind of production from Singletary, you better milk that. Stop trying to throw the ball for 500 yards a game and actually try to win the game, man. Because this is a bad loss. They were up, wasn't it? Was it 10-0? They were up.
They were
Yeah,
up, I
ten to
think,
zero at
13 or
halftime.
10 to nothing.
Yeah, it was 10. And so you gave up 17 points in the fourth quarter. That's just not going to cut it. Um, I mean, the Steelers there's just nothing impressive on offense from the Steelers, and they still managed to win this game. Good for them. The Bills wake up because the AFC East is not going to be an easy division, and this is not blowing that kind of having that kind of a meltdown in the fourth quarter is not. You can't do that. And run the damn ball. 11 for 72 is good. That is really, really good. I saw that stat and I was just like, what happened here? But I guess it makes sense. They were trying to spam the pass early on.
Mm-hmm. Because that's their strength. I mean, they have Diggs, Beasley,
Well, you
Emmanuel
think it is
Sanders,
until it's
Knox.
not, right?
Yeah. So like I think it was
It's like,
working for obviously because they were up, 10. But like I figured, Pittsburgh started figuring out they adjust and
mhm.
start to slow you down and they catch up and now you're like, oh shit, what do we do? Start running the ball. So I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like I think the adjustment was just made too late. Pittsburgh figured it out faster than you guys could readjust, I guess. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say this is a foretelling of what the Bills are going to be. I think they're definitely going to, take this and just get better. But no, I think it's more of a testament of Pittsburgh is they're not out of it. Like, yeah, they took some they don't their defense kind of took a shot last year in the offseason, but I don't think that's going to slow
Yeah.
them down. I think they're still going to be as reliable as ever. Going to be over
And the
500 as
rest, the,
always.
the rest, yeah, the rest of the division, there's some questions going on there. So they might still be in it somehow. I don't know. They never go away, man.
Crazy.
Steelers never ever go away. Um, so here's a game that I did watch. I watched Seattle and Indianapolis.
Yeah, that was a good
And
one.
did you watch this one?
I did. I did. I liked it a lot. Actually, Seattle came out swinging.
As
It was crazy.
Seattle, as per usual. Okay, we all know Seattle. The first 6 weeks is going to be amazing. So I don't even care about this. I'm waiting till after week 6. Like, is Seattle going to put a whole season together? Is the question that I have because once again, here goes Russell Wilson going crazy.
Hmm.
Tyler Lockett is unguardable. Um, Chris Carson, fantastic on the ground against a really good run D, by the way,
Yeah, for
in
real.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just like this is not surprising to me whatsoever, and it's not going to surprise me until we get further in the season and they're still able to do so because this happens every year. Russell Wilson's always in the MVP conversation. Seattle's always great, and then something happens, and so I need to see that not happen because I like Seattle and I love Russell Wilson, and I would love for Russell Wilson to win MVP finally. That'd be great.
I do want to make
But
a statement here for
Mhm.
Indianapolis. Carson Wentz did not look bad for you guys. Okay.
No, I was going to say that too. I was just about to
I
say that
think
as
it's
well.
more about the coaching or the play calls. Like it seems like you guys were very dink and dunk, milk. Like you guys ran a lot. Jonathan Taylor, Hines. I mean, they only got 56
Yeah.
yards and 34 yards, and I mean,
There's a lot of screen passes and shit
it's
too.
good, but like I mean, Carson Wentz, you gotta let that man loose. You gotta let him sling it. I mean, I just feel like he could have done a lot more for you guys. I just think he was kind of held
Yeah.
back there. The
If you
run
look at their if whenever you look at a box score and you see that your leading receivers are your two running backs,
exactly, yeah.
that tells me that that you were just checking down the whole game, which is okay. Better than throwing
That
a
can't be your
pick.
main game plan though.
Exactly. That's got you got to have something going on down the field. I think Zach Pascal caught my eye a little bit
Yeah, he did good.
as being a big time target for them. But yeah, you gotta air the ball out a little bit. I know it's Carson Wentz's first game. Get his legs under him, whatever. But hopefully, moving forward, they're able to get bigger chunks because I was watching that guy. I was thinking the same thing as you. I was like, man, Carson Wentz is moving around pretty good. He's not making bad decisions with the football.
Yeah.
It was just like, and it could have been that nothing was getting open downfield. It just felt to me like there was a lot of the check down was the first read, but you know, again, it's week one, like whatever. It's just something that I noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can definitely. I think this Indianapolis team can be good with Carson Wentz. Like it's, like he didn't turn the ball over at all. He threw 2 touchdowns. Pascal looks like a real deal. It's just, I mean, Seattle, you can't stop Russell Wilson in the first 5 weeks. It's just something that they have this weird thing that they do, and then after that, it's just like 50-50. But yeah, I mean, it was a good game. I enjoyed it a lot. I just think he need to give Carson Wentz some more time to, or just get him some better play calls because you can't. You're obviously your first couple reads should be deep downfield to see if anybody's open, then check down. You can't be like, okay, screen this, screen that, check down here, check down there. I'm with you there. I think they should have let him loose a little bit.
Yeah, and Indianapolis secondary got to be better. You can't be letting Tyler Lockett just run past you
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
true. Yeah,
That
that was embarrassing.
that was a horrible. That was a bad timing for that too because they had a chance to get back into the game.
I mean,
But
that was early
we'll move
too.
on.
That first Tyler Lockett
Yeah,
touchdown, like he was wide open. I'm
yeah.
like, hello, but whatever.
We'll move on to a weird game that I didn't watch, but I think you did. You
I
watched the
did.
Lions game,
This was a
so
weird
I'll
one.
let you take this one. But this game,
It
just
was weird.
following the score of this game while I was at work, was very strange.
So this was more of a story where the 49ers, they looked good. They were dominating almost the entire game up until maybe the last quarter. I mean, the Lions were hanging in there, the Lions were hanging in there. It's just after a certain point, like in the second quarter especially, they weren't able to stop them. Like Debo Samuel was getting open almost. There was a crazy sideline catch where Jeff Okuda, like he was on Debo. Like this was good coverage, okay, mind you. And Debo still was able to adjust to the. This was thrown by Jimmy Garoppolo. But I always make jokes that he's the handoff king. He was actually slinging it quite a bit in this game. I did not see this coming, but no, Debo Samuel was always open. It seemed like he was just catching stuff on the sideline, outran everybody for like almost I think 30 yards. It was good. I know Mostert got injured in this game. He did look good when he had the ball. Like he was explosive, but I mean, he was out pretty early. I think your rookie is actually pretty promising, which is good news for you guys. I mean,
Yes,
he
sir.
looked really good.
I got him
Mitchell,
in fantasy now.
he looks really good. George Kittle, I mean, same old, just trucking people, stiff arming and then getting another like 20 yards, rack. So it's a good offense. And then you see Trey Lance, like I think his first throw, or maybe no, yeah, I think like maybe his first couple throws that ended up being a touchdown. So I like the system that Kyle Shanahan is making, this two quarterback system. Like put Lance in if you guys want to do like a read option or if you want to do some red zone offense. I like it. And Jimmy G's actually throwing the ball. I did like this game. But I think the crazy storyline about this was not so much about the 49ers. It was the resilience of Detroit. Jared Goff did not refuse to go down. I mean, he looked pretty good, if I'm going to say so myself. He looked really good. I know the run game was better than I thought as well. Like Jamal Williams still has some in the tank. Swift can't catch to save his life. I thought. I mean, this game, the run game looks good. The run game looks good, and the pass game looks good. I think this team is going to be better than we think. T.J. Hawkinson needs to cut his hair, but he caught everything he got thrown at him. No, all jokes aside, this team did really good in the fourth quarter. They came back 16 points. It was a one-score game by the end of the thing. It was crazy. No, I
See,
just
looks like Goff found 10 different receivers. That's
that's
impressive considering the
yeah.
Lions receivers.
That's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say. Like, I mean, it seems like St. Brown, he was actually like a legit rookie. I think you need to give him the ball more. Just, I guess
Yeah.
that's my takeaway from this game is if you can get Khalif Raymond and St. Brown involved more, because it seems like all he wanted to do was hit Hawkinson, and then if he wasn't available, try to hit Swift or Williams, or just involve the two running. This was a very running back heavy offense. It's if we're not handing the ball off, it's we're getting them screens. It was
Right.
almost like
Well,
the
it's the
same
best
thing
players
as
on
the
the
Colts.
team, right? So,
Yeah, but I'm just
yeah.
get your guys Raymond and St. Brown involved more. They were getting open in the back, and it looked good. But I like the determination, resiliency from the Lions. But hey, the 49ers they hung 41 points on you guys. If you didn't, maybe if you didn't let them do 41 points, you could have won the game.
It's
But it is
it's
what it
gonna
is.
get worse now too because Okuda's gone.
Yep. Again,
So
this man never had a
poor
career
Okuda, man.
before it even
But
started.
yeah, this game
Sad.
was like 38-7, and I sent a message in the Discord like, "Well, looks like the Lions are an 0-16 candidate again."
Psych.
And then I looked down again, and I was like, "Hello, how do you end up with 33 points?" That's so funny. But 49ers, I mean, if they're gonna score points like that, that's an issue, bro, because they clearly this was a case of taking your foot off the gas in the
Yeah,
fourth quarter, just like it's the Lions, and then
we'll be fine.
Jared Goff just went crazy.
I guess the only good
Um,
thing that you can take away from the Detroit, like I think going from Matthew Stafford to Goff, it almost seems like it was more of a lateral than a
Pretty
downgrade.
seamless, yeah. That's what I was thinking when I saw the
So
box
that's
score as
good for you
well.
guys. I think like it wasn't a bad move. I mean, sure, I'd rather have Matthew Stafford too, but I wouldn't be depressed that you have Goff. I think Goff is
Yeah,
doing better than most people think he would.
for
Just
sure,
putting that
for
out there.
sure. Now we have a another game that just kind of bummed me out a little bit. The Browns and the Chiefs. It was a great game. I was just really, I'm really kind of on the Browns bandwagon right now, and they were up like, what was it, like 22-10 or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And
They had it at
I
half.
was like, yo, yeah, I was like, yo, the Browns. Like, I might have been really right about the Browns, bro. 20, like if they're gonna clap the Chiefs, and then it just all fell apart.
After half, yeah.
Um, I didn't watch this game, but I was watching the Saints game, and the highlights kept coming up, and I was just like, oh boy, they're falling apart right now. Um, but yeah, I mean, look at the Browns here. Like Baker Mayfield was fine, like 21 for 28,
Yeah, he
321.
looked good.
He did throw a pick, but 321 and no touchdowns is so funny to me considering like we'll get to this later, but Jameis had like 130 yards and 5 touchdowns. It always cracks me up. But Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they're the ones putting the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
There's nothing new there. They looked just as good as always. Thought the receiving for the Browns was fine. I really want to see what they do when Odell comes back. Like I really wish he was playing right now. But Njoku was fine. Anthony Schwartz, the rookie,
Yeah, I was about to
looked
say
pretty
something.
good.
Yeah, he looked
He's
good.
fast as fuck, boy. They played fine on offense, man. They just at the end of the day, guys. I mean, the Chiefs. There's only so much you can do when the other team has Tyreek Hill on it. Like there's just no, it's just sometimes feels like there's just nothing you can do. If you take one wrong step
That's it.
in coverage against Tyreek Hill, it's over. 197 yards, bro.
This is against Cleveland's secondary, which is not bad
Which
by
is
any
good,
means.
right? And I just mean it's just
Like,
and then
what
you
do
have
you do?
Kelsey, and nobody else matters. You have Travis Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. Who cares who else you have? They're only going to see the ball a couple times a game. Mahomes, 27 for 36, 3 touchdowns. Like it's honestly annoying how good the Chiefs are all the time. Like stop being so good.
I can't
But
believe it. Yeah, I mean,
this
like,
is not a game that like Browns fans like don't look at 0-1. I know you guys haven't won a season opener in like 50,000 years, or like their record is like some crazy ass terrible record for opening games. But
yeah, I know.
don't look at that 0-1 and be like, oh, here we go again. No, bro, this is a good effort right here. This is the Chiefs we're talking about, and you had them on the ropes in the fourth quarter.
It
So
seems like I don't know if the foot was taken off the gas in the third quarter because you guys gave up 10 points in the third quarter and then
mhm.
another 13 in the fourth. But I mean, there just has to. I mean, I'm sure the coaches know that you should have a game plan for Hill and Kelsey. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem like 197 yards to Tyreek Hill. And there was a 75-yarder touchdown just for. There's got to be a game plan. I don't know what it is.
It's possible to stop Tyreek Hill. I've seen it with my own eyes. Like I hate bringing up the Saints all the time, but like that's just the team that I watch every single week. So get over it. Last year, they kept Tyreek in front of them. Like it is possible to do so. You just have to have the right game plan in place. The Buccaneers is another example. Like you can keep Tyreek Hill in front of you, bro. You just have to. The Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, not the Buccaneers that gave up 300 yards in the first quarter.
Right.
I want to make sure I point that out. Super Bowl Buccaneers kept Tyreek Hill in front of them. So,
and you gotta cover in the red zone. You gotta watch Kelsey. You've got.
Yes.
I mean, you watch him regardless. I'm not saying wait until the red zone to watch him, but especially in the red zone, like this man is always open. Even if he's double covered, he's always open. 2 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else you can do, is what I'm saying. Like, I feel bad for the Browns that they didn't pull this off, because, like, if their secondary is not going to be able to do it, who can? But, I mean, it's just one of those things, like, damn, like, what happened in the third quarter? What happened in the fourth? Like, you guys had it.
Yeah.
But Tyreek
I like this, though, because this is, first of all, this is really, really realistically an AFC Championship preview. And another thing that I really like about this is a lot of people were sitting here trying to tell us, not me specifically, but just like trying to say on Twitter and whatnot, that the Browns were only in the game in the playoffs because Mahomes got hurt. No. And here we are. Mahomes
full game
is there. There he is, perfectly healthy. In fact, his toe is completely good. And this is the result. So the Browns are good. Haters, stop hating. The Browns are good. But we'll move on from that one because a team that's not good is the New York Giants.
Damn.
And guys, I saw something today. I saw a clip. I believe it was either after the game or during like the fourth quarter of the game. But Von Miller comes over to Teddy Bridgewater and he says, and I quote, "I ain't felt this since we got 18. Okay? That's what this motherfucker said to Teddy Bridgewater, bro. He said that he has not felt this good about his team since they got Peyton Manning.
Damn.
And then I look at these stats right here, and this dude, Teddy Bridgewater, who we've questioned because Sean Payton made him look really, really good, and then he went to the Panthers and they made him look really, really trash. He comes out here 28 for 36, 264, and two touchdowns. Yeah. That's how it's done. I didn't get to watch this game, but whatever they were calling on offense for this team, they know what they're doing with Teddy Bridgewater, because that's exactly what you need to do right there. He doesn't need to be slinging the ball down the field all game. Just manage the game. The Broncos defense is crazy. Melvin Gordon went nuts. 11 for 101.
He had one run for 70 yards.
It was one. I know, but still, at the end of the day,
you can't give that up anyway, though. That's just
the receiving, Jerry Jeudy. Like, look at this. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. He had 9 different receivers. What in the Drew Brees is that? You can't tell me that he didn't learn that. And I'm just really surprised. And I know the Giants are not good. Once again, week 1, we cannot overreact. But like, for Von Miller to say that,
we can say Daniel Jones. This was his chance.
Daniel Jones
to be
is
good.
Trash, bro.
You had 37. You threw the ball 37 times, only completed 22. And you had guys like Shepard, Slayton, Galladay, Rudolph. Like, you had everybody. Saquon Barkley. Like, what are we doing?
All of his he had 267 yards. 113 of them went to Sterling Shepard, bro. Like, he couldn't. He's just, oh my god, bro. He's just. And guys, you can go back in previous episodes. I literally have said 174 times that I believe in Daniel Jones, but I can't. He is just so bad. I don't know if it's. I think it's just his mental. I think his
Kadarius Toney was in that game too.
I think he's just mentally like. Because, I mean, when you get booed on draft day, like, that's got to fuck with you. I just think he can't handle the pressure of New York, dude. I think much like Sam Darnold, I actually think he would be okay maybe if he went to a different team, but he cannot do it here. He cannot be the Giants quarterback. It's just he can't handle it. He can't handle the New York thing. They couldn't. Daniel Jones was the fucking leading rusher, too. That's an issue that we need to discuss. I know Saquon's coming off of an injury, but goddamn.
Saquon. No. Barkley said he felt 100%. He was ready to go. He said I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm good. I've been waiting all off
Then
season
that's
to do
trash.
this.
Then
And you have more rushing yards than your top 5 running back in the league, supposedly. What are we
terrible.
doing? I mean, so Jerry Jeudy, I want to say something about that real quick. So I know he's
Hmm.
injured now, and I don't know how long he's out for a couple weeks, and maybe something like that. But I mean, he is a good receiver. He's not a bust. Like Jerry Jeudy, like now maybe
Absolutely.
Teddy Bridgewater unlocked Jeudy. I don't know, but it's 72
There's only so
yards.
much you can do. Only so much you can do with fucking Drew Lock throwing to you.
It's crazy. No, I think this is a testament of the Broncos finally putting it together. And I mean, I understand Broncos defense is disgusting, but I mean, at the same time, you have weapons on weapons on weapons, Giants. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, man. Von Miller saying that about Teddy Bridgewater really caught my attention. He's not just going to say that.
To anybody.
He's not just going to say that. So that tells me that the Broncos believe
And
they
Teddy.
don't need Aaron Rodgers, bro. They can do it right now, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And what a segue, unintentionally. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers,
Oh boy.
I promise that was not on purpose. The Green Bay Packers, and I'm gonna let Jeff talk about the Packers because you know your boy's a Saints fan. And I want to talk about my boys for a second. Jeff can rake the Packers afterwards, okay? But my New Orleans Saints have been hearing all this nonsense for the whole offseason. I stayed quiet. I sat here and said, "Oh yeah, we might go 10-7, like whatever." Bro, I just needed to see them play. There's a lot of Saints fans out there that thought we were going to be the best team in the world still. Like, no, I need to watch them play. I have now watched them play, and holy shit, I cannot believe in something's going on with the Packers, but I cannot believe the defense that the New Orleans Saints played in this game because the the Packers didn't start to fall apart until it got out of hand. Like
Yeah.
they were playing full effort. They came into the game like, oh yeah, we're so hype. This is a last dance, which it's going to be over sooner than we thought. And they just got boxed, dude. Aaron Rodgers, 133 yards, 2 picks. I mean, the running game, what the hell was that? 43 total yards on like, what is that, 15 carries? Devonta Adams was in a box by Marshawn Lattimore, who literally was wearing a cast on his hand. The rest of the
Debo locked
receivers,
down Adams for every
I
single
know.
snap that I've seen him against him.
Adebo they kind of switched back and forth. Like the
It was
pass rush
surprising.
was decent. Aaron Rodgers did have a good time in the pocket, but it got there occasionally. And I know the Saints, they had the whole hurricane and they had things to play for, but I think this is more than that, man. I think these guys have been hearing all offseason that they can't win without Drew Brees. Nick Wright, who's a fucking idiot. We all know Nick Wright is an idiot on Fox Sports 1. He was like talking about the quarterback competition when Jameis won, and he was like, no matter who wins this competition, the Saints are terrible.
Damn.
And this competition is just to see if Jameis Winston can resurrect his career. Well, hold that, bro. 38-3. That's the same score that we had against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when everybody thought the Saints were the best team in the NFL. Just saying. The run game, Kamara 20
I
for
think
83.
that's really the key. Like, not to take anything away from Winston, but like Tony
Mhm.
Jones coming in here
Love Tony Jones, dude.
doing 50 yards along with Kamara doing 83 yards. It seems like
Yeah,
the first half it was just the Kamara and Jones show. Like I saw,
dominated.
and then Winston would cap it off with a touchdown to Jawan Johnson,
Exactly.
which he
Sean
made
Payton
some
did that
crazy
shit on
grabs, by
purpose.
the way. And
Sean
then
Sean Sean does it on purpose, bro. He wanted to pad Jameis a little bit, so he moved the ball all the way down the field and then said,
mhm.
"Jameis, you throw it in."
But no, I
But
mean, and in the second half, Winston uncorked that bitch to Deontay
he
Harris
did.
for what, 72 yards.
He
So
did. Yeah,
okay,
it
I
was
can show you
55.
I can cap off a drive with the pass, and also I can throw it downfield. So I whatever you want me to
Yeah.
do, and I saw him hitting people, in the middle of the field too. Like I saw, I mean Troutman. I don't know what's going on there. Like that's probably the only blemish on that offense. But everybody else looked amazing.
Hmm.
It's crazy. I think I don't know what the storyline is here. The Green Bay, are they just done, like
There's just
mentally,
both.
or New Orleans, like they're just best team in the NFC? Like I don't know what to make of this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I just,
Not to take anything away from New Orleans, that was a lights out
of
game.
course, of
Like
course, it's
defense
like,
was disgusting. Like Debo played out of his mind for a rookie. Like I mean, I've always been an advocate. Like, hey, first rounders should play like first rounders, third rounders should like. But I'm like, no, dude. Debo was
Mhm.
on Adams. It was insane. I
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
I
he
didn't
was a
think step
first
for
round.
step.
He was apparently a first round prospect, but he sat out for COVID, so we'll take those. But one thing that really catches my eye here is that everybody we've always talked for years about how Drew Brees makes his receivers better, right? And it's like Jameis Winston can't do that. Not not a single one, not a single one receiver that stepped on the football field for the New Orleans Saints was drafted into the NFL. Not one of them. And this dude comes out here 14 for 20. Yeah, it was only 148 yards, but like you said, they were running the ball over them, so why not keep running?
Hmm.
And then he had 5 touchdowns. Like,
Yeah, like the second half, they really let
who the
him
fuck
open
is
up.
Jawan Johnson, bro? Like, if you're not a Saints fan, you don't. If you're not a Saints fan or an Oregon football fan, you don't know who that is. He converts to tight end and is making these crazy athletic catches in the end zone. Marquez Callaway wasn't even there because he was being shadowed by Jair Alexander the whole game, so that's not surprising. But like, I take that back. Ty Montgomery was drafted, but he doesn't count because he's ass. Everybody else undrafted. Chris Hogan caught a touchdown, guys. Chris Hogan, dude was playing lacrosse last year. Jameis Winston threw a touchdown to him, dude. And the last thing I want to say before I let you kind of go on about the Packers. Last year we talked about Brady versus Belichick and who was responsible for the greatness in New England. And after one season, it has seemed so far as though it was Tom Brady, right? We're coming over here, and I'm never going to take anything away from Drew Brees. But this dude, Sean Payton, only lost one game without Drew Brees. He's like 10-1 or 9-1. And we're watching this, and I'm just starting to think to myself, low key, like, Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer, and that's great. And the combination of him and Sean Payton was unstoppable. But this dude, Sean Payton, might end up on the Mount Rushmore of coaching. This is getting out of hand at this point. Like, I'm not trying to be too biased, and you can let me know if I am, but this shit is like getting to a point of unbelievability. How he's able to just plug a quarterback in here with 8 undrafted receivers, no Michael Thomas, okay, and then Dennis Allen has just Marshawn Lattimore and a bunch of rookies and practice squad bums in the secondary, and we win 38-3. I can't believe it. I really can't.
Yeah, I mean, to talk about the Packers, like you, I just don't understand how you let this happen. Like this team is supposed to. They're in the NFC Championship game every single year. They have one of the best, defense. I mean, you got Jair Alexander, you guys, Darius Smith. I just felt like I saw nobody the entire day. I mean, Aaron Rodgers over here throwing the ball, 15 yards past the receiver. Like, I think it was like towards this end of the second half, he just bombed it. And it seemed like every single time I saw him throw a ball, it was a contested type of catch. Like, you have to jump up and get it, or you have to fight off the corner to get it. And again, that might be because the Saints were just really good on defense and they weren't allowing these guys to get open. But I'm just saying, like, you're Aaron Rodgers. You're throwing 133 yards. And Aaron Jones is supposed to be what, top 5, top 10 running back in the league, and you're only running 9 yards. Like, I don't know what happened, but I mean, the only thing that I can say that did happen was Saints had really good clock management. They chewed the shit out of it. I think the Packers had that ball and did one drive. I think at the whole entire first half. Like
They
they
had they had 3 possessions, but they only ran 2 plays in Saints territory the whole first half. They ran
exactly
one offense. They ran the ball one time and they kicked the field goal at the buzzer of the first half, and that was
right.
it.
But I mean, so I mean, it's just I think New Orleans had this game plan down packed. They knew exactly how to beat Green Bay. They came in here and did it. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers, you did not make things any better. You threw 2 picks. I know you don't want to be there, and it shows. Like you're over here smiling after throwing 2 picks, like, and I don't get it. I don't know if this is like one of those things where it's like trade me now, like I'm gonna continue to do this, or you just kind of gave up and you don't care anymore. Either way, it's a morale issue and it's affecting your season now. I thought this was supposed to be the last dance. Apparently, it's not. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
right.
I don't know what's happening. It seems like the only person who did anything all day, honestly, was Devonta Adams, and then he's also getting covered like crazy and still catching 5 passes. after getting targeted 7 times. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know what's up
Yeah, I don't
with the
know.
Green Bay, and it's not looking good.
It's just weird. It's just really weird, man. And it's like
No one saw this coming, by the way. Like everybody
nobody,
had
not
like
even me.
I think every
Yeah.
analyst I saw before the game even started drew. No, I'm thinking about Cowboys. I'm sorry, but every analyst going into this game, they said Green Bay is going to win this game, and
Mhm.
it was going to be a close win. No, Saints came in there and blew the masses out, and it's just like
Blew him
wow.
out. And to your point about the clock domination and everything and the game plan, that just once again comes right back around to Sean Payton. He's one of the best game
Yeah,
planners that I have just ever seen. It's just it's getting to a point where it's hard for me to believe that we can ever be bad. The only times we were ever bad is when our defense was the worst in the NFL, and that wasn't even his fault. As long as we have some kind of defense there, I don't think it even matters who the quarterback is because this guy just knows every team's weakness. It's just crazy to me. But yeah, man, Aaron Rodgers, dude. If that was Tom Brady playing like that, he would have broke his helmet on the bench. Like he would have smashed it so hard into the bench that his helmet would break and they
yeah,
have to
you
get
can
a new
just
one.
tell the way that he was carrying himself. Like
Yeah,
he either A didn't care, or B that's just what he meant to do. Either way, that's not
yeah,
something you want to see on week 1 if you're a
yeah.
Packers
I
fan.
think I lean more towards just not giving a shit. Honestly,
Like
I don't
I'm
think he
getting
would
trade. I'm
intentionally.
leaving this team next year regardless. I don't care. I've been in the NFC.
Yeah,
I was MVP last year. I don't care. I know my value.
yeah.
But still, I mean, you owe these fans. You told them that your heart and your mind is going to be here this season. Didn't show it in week 1. Just saying. We
So
should
we
move
have
on.
yeah, we have the Dolphins and the Pats. And I didn't watch this game, but apparently it was really exciting, sort of. Defensive battle. Mac Jones 281. To my understanding, it was a lot of dump off passing, a lot of short routes, which is okay. He's a rookie quarterback. You don't want to put him in Trevor Lawrence's situation where he has to just sling it all over the place.
Yeah.
Damien Harris goes crazy.
It
And then I
seems
look
like
at
they're
the
just trying to find
Dolphins.
their identity in New England. Like, do
I
we
guess
want to be pass
still,
heavy? Because like it seems like Nelson Aguilar had 72 yards, and then you have White for 49, Myers for 44. But also Harris can do it too. He has 100 yards on the ground. So it's just like, are you balanced? Are you pass? Are you run? That's a good problem to have when you're able to do all of it, but you don't know what to go with because you have a rookie quarterback. You want to be careful. But I mean, this was not a bad offensive effort. You guys had 393 offensive yards with a rookie quarterback. You know, nothing
mhm,
against Mac Jones. That's exactly what you want to see from your rookie quarterback. I'm just going to
yeah,
say that
Mac
against
Jones.
the defense of Dolphins.
I saw somebody, oh my God, who was it that said this on ESPN? I can't remember who said it, but they were like, Mac Jones is like one of those pitchers in the Little League World Series that you have to ask for their birth certificate because they're way too like mature and good to be 16 years old or whatever. They were like, there's watching Mac Jones, there's just no way that he's a 22-year-old rookie because he just plays so smart. And I thought that was the perfect analogy because like he's just not going to make mistakes. Like we talked about this with Carson Wentz as well. Like dink and dunk, to me, I'll take that over picks. But at the same time, when you get into the red zone, you got to be able to put the ball into the end zone though. Like 16 points
Right.
after getting almost 400 yards
Yeah.
is not going to cut. And the Dolphins are a good defense, so you managed to get 400 yards on them,
But
but
couldn't
you
finish the
allowed them to
drive.
shut you down.
Right.
Yeah, was that going to be one, two, four field goals? Like you can't settle for four field goals. You just can't. On the other side, Tua just looks. Again, I didn't get to watch the game, so I don't want to comment too much. This box score just looks like 2020 Tua. Like I don't see anything different here. And that's not saying that he's not better. It's just this particular game here just kind of gave you the same production. Um, I will say I like Devontae Parker getting some action.
Waddle seems to be
Uh,
legit.
Waddle's, of course, going to be amazing. Um, Offensively, there's just not. I mean, not much to talk about with this game. It was just the Dolphins got to be able to run better. I guess is the only thing I can really point out.
Yeah.
Because Tua's not going to be that guy that's dropping back to throw 50 times, so they got to be able to run the ball. And other than that, I mean, this is a classic division week 1 game. This game means almost nothing in terms of who's better than who. So much is going to change after this week.
Yeah.
But just looking at this box score, it just looks like these teams are right where they should be, 2-3 in the division. The Dolphins are slightly better than the Patriots, and then the Bills are number one. I mean, that's just how it looks to me. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can say to the Dolphins is like, honestly, this game could have been a lot worse if the defense wasn't as good as it was. Like 393 offensive yards on the Patriots, and you only held them to 16. Like with the offense that you guys had as well, like two was throwing one pick, and I mean the rushing attack doesn't seem good. Gaskin, I don't know if that's like your guy, but I mean 49 only 49 yards. I would think personally with the amount of offensive weapons you guys have, like yeah, I don't know why you guys are only scoring 17. I really don't.
Yeah.
Like Tua was supposed to be the guy, and he looked really good in preseason. But I mean, when you got Parker, Waddle, Fuller, I'm probably missing somebody else. But still, I mean, there's a lot of offensive weapons here. Just Gesicki, I don't know. I just feel like you guys should do more, and I understand the Patriots have a good defense as well, but still, I mean, gotta do better. Like I feel like you guys have better weapons than the Patriots, is what I'm saying. Like I feel like I should have seen more, but they outperformed you on offense, which is strange. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, sir. We got the Bears are terrible.
Oof,
Let's just start
fun
off
game.
with that. The
Uh,
I was believe I was in the Discord. I don't know, guys, if I can watch another Bears game until Justin Fields is the quarterback.
Rip.
I just can't take it. I was so miserable watching this game. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Bears fan watching this game. I was so miserable. I was. This dude completed 27 passes for 200 yards. Nothing went farther than 5 yards. None of them. What was the long? Actually, let me check that. What's the longest reception that we had here?
19 yards
19,
to
bro.
Marquise Goodwin.
19. Are you insane? I know the Rams have a great defense, but Jesus Christ, dude. Andy Dalton is just, he's just a backup at this point. Like, he's just not it. You have
Now, do you think it's the play
just,
calling though? Like Dalton didn't look bad. I'll defend him a little
it's,
bit. He didn't look bad. I just
the,
think it's the play calling.
it could be the play calling, but they're also potentially calling it that way because they know Andy Dalton can't do anything else. Like, you're not going to sit Andy Dalton back there in the pocket with Aaron Donald and
True.
Brockers and these guys
You don't
coming
have
at
enough
him
time for these routes to
with
develop.
Jalen Ramsey and coach, who by the way has decided to play slot corner because
He
he
was
was getting
bored.
bored on the outside because he was so goddamn good that nobody threw it over there. I can't believe it when they said that. I didn't not a single time this offseason did I hear that he was switching the slot.
Me
And then
neither.
I'm watching the game and I'm like, why is he in the slot so much? And then they talked about it on the broadcast that he was genuinely asked the coaching staff if he could play some slot because he's bored on the outside. He's not doing anything. That's amazing to me.
Damn.
But yeah, this game, David Montgomery is going to break his back carrying the Bears until Justin Fields comes in.
That's facts.
And I really hope it's this season. I think Justin Fields is, I don't know, he just gives me that vibe that he's that guy. And I feel like even if he's not that guy, the team and the fans believe that he is.
That's all.
And just his presence,
Yeah.
just his presence, almost Nick Foles style, just the presence of not Andy Dalton being on the field will kind of elevate everybody else. That's just my opinion. I think Matt Nagy is ass and he needs to go this offseason. I really just don't think he's the one.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's very possible that he could be like a quarterback killer and he might actually make Justin Fields look terrible like he did with Mitch Trubisky. But the whole thing is bad. And their defense is
God.
Their defense looked like Madden 22, bro.
You made Stafford look like a god, but in fact,
Stafford
it's just blown
Stafford didn't even have to attempt to try. Like, he was just like, oh, let me look up the field. Oh, look at that. 45 yards wide open, sling. Like, I think
Like, listen
Matt
to these-
Stafford made what?
I just
Two
want
throws
to
that were
point these
tough?
out. I just want to point these out because it's kind of funny to me. I mean, so Cooper Kupp has his longest catch, 56 yards. Jefferson, 67 yards. Higbee, 37 yards. You're giving up a huge chunk of yards. Like, that's the one. The Jefferson's almost a full field. That's unacceptable.
You just paid Eddie Jackson, and he was terrible. He missed tackles. He wasn't in coverage. Like, I don't know. this is kind of like a false advertisement for the Rams because like this game doesn't even count. I think the Rams are terrifying, but I can't judge this game at all because the Bears are just horrible.
They let Cooper Kupp run wild, I can tell you that. 7 catches for 10 targets, over 100 yards. I just feel like he didn't have to try the entire game. Stafford just came out here and was like, okay, Kupp is open all the time. And the sad part is like, okay, Henderson still ran for 70 yards. So it wasn't just blown coverage in the secondary. It was also, the run stop wasn't there either. So it's just like this defense is awful. The offense is boring. Chicago needs help, man.
Can't watch him. I'm fully on the Justin Fields train, dude. I mean, he came in and scored a touchdown. Like, when they play...
He didn't come in and score a touchdown.
He
threw a 10-yard strike. It was like on the 5-yard line, but still, I mean, we've seen flashes that he could.
Well, no, he ran it in. Remember, he ran it on the read option.
Oh, he ran it in. You're right. Okay, you're right.
What was I going to say? They're playing at home against the Bengals next week, and I might watch that one because these Bears fans are not having it. If Andy Dalton is playing like this, those Bears fans are going to be going absolutely insane. And I'm kind of interested to watch that. And he is going against his former team, so maybe he'll play well. I don't know. But Bears fans are fuming right now. They booed him the whole preseason. And I'm assuming it's going to continue into the regular season after what we just watched happen on Sunday Night Football because just ask. And while we're on the topic of Sunday Night Football, Drew Brees is really good at this job, dude. I just wanted to point that out for anybody that didn't watch the game.
Yeah,
he's not in the booth yet, but just the pregame and everything, he's just really, really
he's smart, man.
Really smart, and I'm just the best segue person on the planet. But we're gonna segue right into if you didn't watch the Manning broadcast of Monday Night Football, you need to check yourself. You lost your mind. ESPN2.
That was the best broadcast I have ever seen in my life.
Ever in my life, bro. This
was game of the week, by the way.
Informative. It was informative. I learned so many things about how players think on the field. They had guests. They had freaking
Ray Lewis.
They had
Travis
Ray Lewis.
Kelce, Russell Wilson,
Charles Barkley. It was amazing. It was so funny, entertaining,
and there was like no filter on
everything.
both of these Manning brothers at all. Like they were allowed to say whatever the hell they wanted to say. Like
they were making fun of foreheads. Like it was amazing.
It was awesome. If you think Romo's good, you're gonna be blown away.
They were talking about the plays on the field and like, oh, I wouldn't have called that or that was a terrible. It was just like if you were in their house watching it on the couch with them. Yeah. It's how they broadcasted it. It was so cool. Only problem was the fire alarm went off. That was really weird.
Hey, your first time ever broadcasting, stuff like that happens.
Yeah, but wow, this is my first time looking at the box score of this game.
Let me speak on this one.
I'm gonna let you end it because I know you have some thoughts.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at this box score for the first time. Derek Carr had 435 yards. Holy shit. But yeah, man. Obviously, Jeff's gonna go into detail about this. But Ravens go up 14-0. Raiders come back. Ravens had the lead with 36 seconds to go or whatever. Raiders come down, kick a field goal, go to overtime. Overtime is just pure chaos. If you missed the game, it's hard to even describe. You have to watch it. Just absolutely the craziest ending of a game that I've ever seen. The game was like, there was a point where the game was literally over and the players were shaking hands on the field and everybody was leaving. And the referees were like, wait, he was down at the 1. And then all hell broke loose from that point on.
Yeah.
Just amazing. The Raiders couldn't run for jackass. Jacobs was 10 for 34.
Couldn't score on the 1.
Couldn't score on the 1 yard line. That was part of the overtime. After they got stuck on the 1, they proceeded to get stuffed twice, then get a false start from their bum ass tackle Alex Leatherwood that they drafted in the 18th pick. And he was terrible. He was the most penalized player in college last year, and that has just continued into the NFL. He was horrible. Derek Carr was in the first half. Darren Waller had 19 targets, boys.
He
19.
forgot the
A
entire
lot.
offense existed.
Most of that was in the first half. He spread it out more in the second half, but the first
Yeah.
half he was spamming Darren Waller. Raiders defense was fine. John Gruden's coaching decisions were weird as usual, but they managed to get the win. Nothing new here. The Raiders always play exactly to the level of their competition. If they play against the damn Jacksonville Jaguars, this will be the same score, 33-27. This is how they are. They got to run the ball better. That's it. I'll let you have it now. Here we go.
I mean, I don't even know where to start, guys. I mean, we can't have two players on the Ravens doing everything for this team. Okay, just to give you an idea, I know he fumbled twice, but Lamar Jackson, out of 406 total offensive yards, Lamar Jackson himself had 321 of them. Okay, so he threw the ball 19 times, 235 yards for a touchdown to Marquise Brown, which was an amazing play, by the way. Like he was again dancing out of the pocket to the right, another cross, kind of like a Kyler Murray to the Hopkins, but not as good. But yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I just don't know what to say about this team. Like I know we have a lot of injuries. I know that. I know J.K. Dobbins. I know Peters is out. I know Gus the Bus. I know about the injuries, guys. But it's just like that's no excuse. It's got to be next man up. And I was an advocate to blame the injuries, but it's just like when you have guys that are sitting on the bench like Latavius Murray, as soon as he touched the field, it's like okay, he got a touchdown. And I know Tyron Williams. Like I know he's a rookie and that was his first game, and like you're not gonna expect a great game out of a rookie on their first game, but still, I mean, if you're the starting running back, there's a lot of expectations for you. And I don't like as a coach, I don't think that was the right thing to do. I know we just got Murray like literally 12 hours before that or whatever it was, but still, if he's a veteran and he was practicing in the Saints, the preseason and the practice and all that stuff, like he's ready to go. His legs are ready. His body is in football shape. It's not hard to call a halfback dive. A halfback dive is a halfback dive, no matter what scheme you're in. Okay. I don't think it's a good excuse to say, well, Murray, we had to give him the game plan. Like runs can't be that. I know the Ravens have like one of the most elaborate running schemes in the NFL. I get that, but I mean, just call simple ass run plays to get Murray more involved. I think if Murray was more involved, this game could have been a little bit different. Then as far as the receivers, yes, we know they're garbage, but I mean. Mark Andrews, he just signed a huge contract, and he's over here dropping wide open passes that are hitting him right in the numbers. You couldn't have asked for a better throw from Lamar Jackson, and he's dropping stuff. I just don't know what's going on with this team. I know there's a lot of injuries, but I mean this is unacceptable. And defense, oh, don't get me started on defense. Marlon Humphrey had to do everything himself, and I feel so bad for him. I really do. He was covering Darren Waller. Darren Waller's like 6'7" or whatever. I mean, it's hard to do that, plus cover Ruggs, plus cover Renfro, plus, hey, come down here and blitz. Oh, you want to do something over here? Help cover Josh Jacobs. I don't know what else to say about this defense. Like, I know we have guys that are from the practice squad, like Chris Restry. I think Brandon Stevens was out there trying to cover people. I don't know what the hell they were doing the entire night, but it was blown coverage all over the place. I mean, our zones are terrible. I know we play man-to-man defense, but it was so bad. I don't know what to tell this team on defense. Like, we got to figure it out. It seems like we can't play the man-to-man with the personnel that we have, so we got to get used to playing zone. And I guess that's just not what we do, so that's why we fumble the bag on defense. But we can't give up 500 yards on offense to the Raiders. Okay? And, like, I know we stopped them, like, sometimes when it mattered most. Like, we stopped them from scoring on the one in overtime. Like, that's cool and all, but, like... I don't know, man. This team frustrates me. Let's another tangent here. Villanueva made Crosby look like the best defensive end on the planet. He got blown by how are you 6'7" and can't block Crosby? Like Crosby is not like a well-known name unless you are a Raiders fan. But I mean, you made him look like J.J. Watt. You made him look like Von Miller. You made him look like anybody. It was crazy that the Raiders did what they did against this team. Like, the Baltimore is supposed to be, so dominant. We're supposed to be one of the best teams in the AFC, and then we come out here and choke like this. It was 14-0, and then we just fell apart. The defense was performing in the first half, obviously, but I don't know what happened after halftime. I just don't know. But either way, you can't wait until the fourth quarter and score 10 points. This team is usually coming out, we're swinging hard, we score like 30 points in the first quarter, whatever it is that we like to do. It just didn't happen. And again, I don't blame Lamar Jackson. Like, of course, when you carry the ball 12 times as a quarterback and you're throwing the ball 30 times, sure, there might be a fumble here and there, especially when you run as much as you do. You had the most running yards on the rushing side. So it's just like, I get it, but I mean, I know you're not supposed to fumble. I get it, but it's just like, it is what it is. Tyson Williams didn't even pick up a block. That was from that's why he got blindsided on the second fumble. Guys, I don't know. I don't know what to do. We gotta get some answers on offense. We gotta figure out how to get Murray more involved. I think that's the best way for a more temporary fix for as far as offense. On defense, I don't know. Practice zone some more. But either way, Las Vegas Raiders, they're a 50-50 team. Gruden's not good, I don't think, and they only targeted Waller 20 times. I mean, after a certain point, you just gotta figure it out. And rant.
Well, you get the Chiefs next week, so that'll be fun.
We're gonna get our asses blasted, bro. I mean, if the look, I will fully admit right now that the Cleveland Browns are probably our favorite to take the division from us this year. But I mean, if their defense, which I don't think they have a single injury on defense. I mean, pardon me if I'm wrong, excuse me. But I mean, if they can't cover Tyreek Hill from having 200 yards on, like, what the hell are we gonna do with Quish Westry and Brandon Stevens and Avery? I don't know.
The problem would be that Marlon Humphrey would not be able to leave Tyreek Hill. So
okay, and then Travis Kelce's going to get open. Like, one way or another, we're going to get exposed, and it's not going to be pretty. But I mean, all I'm saying is by week 3, I hope we figure out something. I know we're looking at Mitchell Schwartz to replace Villanueva whenever he gets healthy. I saw that, and I know we're working on a couple of DBs. I didn't know any of their names by. I didn't see, like, I couldn't like recognize any of their names, like who they actually are, if they're any good or not. But regardless, we have to patch that team up for sure. I mean, Sammy Watkins did okay, I guess, but it is what it is. We had pressure in the face all night because Villanueva doesn't know how to block. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Are you sure? Oh, stress.
A lot of pent up anger there.
Stressful. We got the two sides of the sword, man. You had happy Saints fan over here and suicidal Ravens fan over here, dude. Guys,
frustrated.
We were on a Discord call.
Yeah.
We watched the Monday night game together on Discord call, and it was just listening to this poor guy go through this roller coaster of emotions was just so painful.
Like, overtime really hurt me a lot. I'm like, oh my god, we have a chance to win. Like, we stopped them on the one. Yeah. Like, this game was supposed to be over. They were out there shaking hands. The Raiders won. I already accepted in my heart that they won. And I'm like, oh, wait, you're telling me that he was down at the one? Okay, well, we're not going to stop him at the one. That's just, that's just a given. Like, if you can't run from the one, you don't deserve the win. And luckily enough, Alex Leatherwood, penalty, boom, back him up. Oh, we're getting the ball back? Excuse me? We have a chance to actually win this game? And then, fumble. But, very emotional game. And the game of the week, if you guys didn't see it, I highly recommend to watch that game. But yeah. A lot of missed opportunities and some opportunities really on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, my man got put in a roller coaster in week 1. That's unfortunate. But, that is all the games, man. We covered every single one. Let us know in the comment section your favorite team, how they do. Because, we know how they did because we see the scores, but what did you think of how they did is the actual question that you should answer. And,
let's do something a little fun at the end of this one. Let's go through week 2 and just do like a quick run through of who we're going to think win the game. Don't do a huge explanation because I'm sure we'll go through that next week. But just a quick quick take.
Thursday night, Washington.
All right, I got Washington.
Okay, we got Buffalo in Miami.
Buffalo.
I want to go to Miami actually.
Ooh. All right. Yep. Cincinnati, Chicago. Cincinnati.
Yeah, Bengals.
Denver and Jacksonville. Denver. Houston, Cleveland. Rams, Indianapolis.
Every part of my being wants to pick Houston, but I'm picking Cleveland. Rams and Indianapolis. I'm
going Rams.
Fuck. Yeah, I'm going to go Rams until I can see Carson Wentz throw the ball down the field.
Pittsburgh, Vegas.
This one is interesting. I'm going to go with the Raiders. Maybe the Raiders are finally good. I don't know.
I'll go Pittsburgh just because, they looked pretty good against the Bills.
This one, Patriots, they own the Jets.
Patriots
but
against the
let's be
Jets.
honest.
Yeah. New Orleans against Carolina.
Saints,
New Orleans.
Saints. 49ers here
Yeah.
against the Eagles.
Ooh, that's actually gonna be a good one. I'll say San Francisco though, but
I
could be a
need
good
I
one.
need the Eagles to prove to me that wasn't a fluke, and then I'll start really believing in them. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. I
Tampa
mean,
Bay,
Jesus, that's gonna be over at halftime.
Arizona, Minnesota, Arizona.
Gonna go to Arizona. Yeah, this is a good ad. Holy
Oh
smokes!
shit. Dallas and
These three,
Chargers.
all three of these games are good. What the hell? I'm gonna go actually with Dallas,
I'm gonna go Chargers.
Tennessee, and Seattle. Fuck.
Uh,
See, Derrick Henry's not gonna get shut down this time, so I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
I'll go with Seattle just because the first 5 weeks, Russell.
Yeah,
Baltimore and Kansas City.
Baltimore,
I'm gonna go Kansas
Kansas City.
City. Unfortunately, I want to, but I can't after what I just saw.
This
Um,
Monday night game is a joke.
Yeah, Green Bay and
Oh my
Detroit.
god!
I
don't
you know
even know who to
what?
pick here.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles here, I'm gonna go Detroit. After what I just
I'm-
saw against
I'm
the
actually
Saints.
gonna go. I'm actually gonna go with the Packers just because I feel like they're not gonna appreciate this shit talk they've been getting all week. But if they lose to the Lions, it's over, bro. It's done with.
You're
for
a
them.
joke. If that's yeah. But I'll go
So,
Detroit. Just why not? Why not?
Why not? All right, well there you go. If you stay to the
Boom.
end, you saw our predictions for next week, and we'll be able to kind of
We'll break
see
it
if we were
down
right
next
or
week.
not. And this is great, man. I'm so happy football's back. We actually have things to talk about that aren't all just hypothetical bullshit.
Right, yeah.
We actually have things that we were able to see and
Based
talk
on
about. So if you
stats
guys,
and facts, yeah.
I know, right? If you guys enjoyed that, smash the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys for week 2. Yes.
Peace.
Peace.